Good evening and welcome everybody to another edition of the Music and Mixing Show. I'm your host DJ Michael Joseph, and tonight we have an awesome topic. If you have never watched the show before, I always spend a couple minutes at the beginning welcoming everybody and seeing where everybody's tuning in from. We normally get a lot of international viewers on this show, so I definitely want to say hello to everybody. So if you are from somewhere other than the United States, or even if you're from here, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter where you're from. Just shout it out on the chat. I am watching the chat on 11 different places tonight, both Facebook, multiple sites on Facebook, multiple sites on YouTube, and the DJNTV's Twitch channel. I'll be able to see anything you send and give you a shout out, but I think we have a good show tonight. I'm kind of excited. Hello to Robin. I'm not sure what's going on with your hard drive fan, but they are replaceable. Mikey Mike, what's going on? John Colley, what's going on? Have people watching all over the place. Tonight we're going to be talking about promo only. No, we're not going to be talking about promo only. We're going to be talking about streaming services and cloud playing services, including Pioneer's new cloud play from the CDJ 3000s. We're going to be talking about that and how that all works out. So I hope you guys are in the mood for some of that. Sometimes I get people tuning in that they think I'm mixing. I'm not mixing on this show. But I do have my deck set up, so if you later on, if we do have some questions or anything like that, I can mix and show you a little bit of everything that's going on and talk about it. But tonight we are going to talk about streaming services and all that kind of stuff for online, like I said, because recently Pioneer just released something new with their hardware, and I think that's an interesting thing to talk about. Teen Neck, New Jersey. Jazzy, what's going on? Matt, what's going on? Watching from Youngstown, just across the way. Hope you're doing well. Like I said, usually we take a couple minutes at the beginning to welcome everybody in, then I'll start talking about it, and I will answer questions tonight. If you use hard drives, you must use hard drive fans. What if it's a solid state drive? There you go. Or what if it's a very high capacity USB? How can I fan this? I have another one over here that I do too that holds my entire collection. I should probably talk about that one night and how I've created an export of my DJ stuff so that it can be used. I can walk up to a CDJ or den and stuff and put there. Sean is saying my stream is off. Is it off everywhere? Is it off on YouTube? Let me know if anybody's having trouble seeing me tonight. Everything's green here. No drop frames, nothing. So let me know if everybody's on, and in just a couple minutes we will get started on this topic. I'm going to move some stuff around here so I can see all my lists. Yeah, let me know if anything's going on bad out there, if I'm breaking up or something like that. We're just about ready to start going over some of the stuff tonight. We're talking about streaming stuff, and I think it's going to be kind of neat. I did some homework for you, which I normally don't like to do that. I like you guys to do the work. I'm a firm believer in doing your own work. So she's a fan. She means fan. She's a fan on a hard drive. So you're saying Robin is a fan on a hard drive. Is that what you're saying, John? That's what he says. She's a fan on hard drives. So that means that they have her on there. I don't know. Oh, that's hilarious. All right, so let's get started. Enough rambling by me. Tonight, the topic came up in a couple different directions. You guys asked John a lot of times about streaming services. And recently, Pioneer just released an update to their CDJ 3000 that allows, through Ethernet connection, you be able to play from cloud services. And that's one of the first things I want to talk about tonight. That there is a difference between streaming services and cloud services. So I want to make sure that we separate those two right off the bat. A streaming service is something like iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, stuff like that. It's where you don't own the song, but you are paying monthly for the service that lets you play the song. That's a streaming service. And a cloud service, which is the thing that Pioneer's doing, is you own the song, but that song is just held on the cloud. and you can access it from the cloud. And that's what theirs is. It's not a streaming service. It's a cloud service of what you have so that you can have access to it. And I'm going to talk about it tonight and how it works, because it's kind of neat with the way it works. But one of the first things I want to do is I want to split this up into two things, hardware, software. I want to go over the different softwares and what they give you the ability to use. Then I'm going to go over the hardware and give you the ability they have to use, and then we're going to talk about the Pioneer after that. First off, as you know, I always talk about Virtual DJ. I use it. I love it. It has the most options for streaming, and I'm going to get into a couple of those a little bit later in a little bit more detail, but I'm just going to ramble down through and name the prices as of right now. So if you're watching this show in the future and the prices change, don't come back at me and go, dude, your prices were wrong. Okay, that's as of today. Okay. iDJ Pool is one of Virtual DJ's content. They used to call it Content Unlimited. It was a part of service that they offered through only Virtual DJ, and it's iDJ Pool's music, and you're streaming through them, and it costs $10 a month, and you can do unlimited offline tracks. Okay. The Gallery. I'm reading the chat while this is going on. I'm not going to talk legal, not legal tonight. I'm just going to talk about stuff. So there you go. Sorry. So it's iDJ Pool lets you stream from the iDJ Pool thing through Virtual DJ only, and it is unlimited offline songs. So you can offline a boatload of songs and play them when you're not connected to the internet. That's the convenience of that. It's $10 a month. Another one of their Content Unlimited things, they don't call it Content Unlimited anymore, but I'm just going to keep referencing it is VJ Pro, and it is the same thing as iDJ Pool's video service, audio service, but the VJ Pro is a video service that does the same thing. It is $50 a month, and does I believe it does unlimited offline. Don't quote me on that. And then the other one after that is DigiTracks, and it's $20 a month. And DigiTracks is the same thing, but karaoke only. So that kind of gets you a difference of those. And those are just, only those three are kept on Virtual DJ. Now, the rest of these, you will find them pretty much on every single software, more or less. The next one after that is Deezer. Deezer, if you don't know what Deezer is exactly like Spotify. It runs like Spotify. It does everything like Spotify. Use it on your phone or your computer, whatever. It technically has 1 million more songs than Spotify, but it has less subscribers. It's out of France, and you can't access it through Virtual DJ if you have a subscription. It's $10 a month, or what is it? $10 a month or $100 a year is the way I think it is, if I'm correct on that. So that gives you the ability to play anything that's on that. So anything you would see on Spotify, Deezer has, and you would be able to play it. You can't offline anything. So anything you play from there, you have to have the ability to be online somehow. All right, so keep that in mind with those. After that is SoundCloud Go Plus, which is, if you don't know what it is, it's a little bit different than a streaming service. You get a lot of really good stuff through them, but the thing is you also get a lot of remixes that people do, and they're not, in my opinion, aren't all that great and don't help you as a DJ. Their audio quality, they have it regular, and they have a 256 in higher tiers. Let me make sure I'm reading this right here. Yeah, so that's $10 a month, and then you get the SoundCloud Go Plus with that, which is a little bit more and done differently. But those are kept, like I said, as in some of them are songs that people remix and put up there and you have access to, but they're not always like really good and really reliable things. After that is Beatport Link. If you want, that one's the one that has the different kind of qualities of the different music there, and higher tiers. The Beatport Pro allows you to do 50 offline songs, and it's $30 a month. And then you could do the Beatport Link Pro Plus. They have these ridiculously long names, which is $45 a month, and I believe gives you 100 songs of offline play. After that is Beat Source Link. That one was Beatport Link. This was Beat Source Link. Costs $10 a month for the basic version, 128 kilobyte AAC files, and $20 or $30 a month for Pro and Pro Plus, which gives you the 256 AACs, 50 offline or 100 offline, just like the other. Tidal, $10 a month, no offline play. And then finally, one that Google does, and I'll explain this later if you like, but if you have Google's Drive, the G Drive, what they've done recently in the program, the way it works, is that it makes your computer see the Google Drive, that you online cloud, see that your computer see it as an actual drive. So it gives it a drive letter G, or you can change it to something else if you want. But because it's that, Virtual DJ sees it as G Drive, like it's a hard drive plugged into the computer, so I can have all my stuff on G Drive and access it anywhere as long as I have internet on that computer. And that's one of the cool things. And you're going to see stuff with that later. So that is the difference between the first bunch of those that I said are all streaming services, and that G Drive then will be a cloud access service because they're my songs, my MP3s and videos and all that on the cloud, but playing it through my cloud service. Okay, so next one we're going to go on to Serato. I wanted to give you all the information on those before I went into the other software. So all the information on those is the same for all the different other software. Serato gives you Beat Source Link, Beat Port Link, SoundCloud Go Plus, and Tidal. Rekordbox has a version of iTunes, and I sent a message this afternoon to Paul's from Pioneer to confirm how it integrates iTunes 100%, and didn't get an answer back from him yet. So, maybe in the future we'll get that. But more or less, it's looking at, I think the way it works, and I couldn't find anybody to tell me any different, is that you are able to use the playlist you have on iTunes through Rekordbox. So if I'm wrong on that, someone hit me up in the chat. Like I said, I sent him a message. I'm not sure how that works. So it also, besides iTunes, SoundCloud Go Plus, Beatport, Beatsource, Tidal, Dropbox, which is another service which is similar to Google Drive, where it's a cloud service you pay for. Did I mark down the price of that? I marked it down for when I talk about the Pioneer stuff. So keep on Dropbox. And also, Rekordbox lets you do device. So if I have my phone in my hand and it's connected to the via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, a device that is using that, Rekordbox can read that is there and use songs off of it if you need to. Algorithm DJ Pro was the only one for the longest time that had Spotify, and then they dropped it a couple of years ago. So Algorithm DJ Pro has Tidal, SoundCloud Go Plus, Beatsource, and Beatport. All right, so the next one I want to go into is hardware. And like I said, I know you guys are going to have a lot of questions about this. Save them to the end, and then we'll go over this. But the hardware ones, I'm going to look at Denon. Now, Denon Prime, and when I say about these, I mean that you do not need to have a computer hooked up to them. They have some way to stream music, and the Denon ones all have Wi-Fi, so you don't need to have anything connected up, hardwire or anything to the Denons to let them play from the cloud. And they can play from SoundCloud Go Plus, Beatport, Beatsource, Tidal, and again, Dropbox. So that gives you an idea what some of those are going to. With Pioneer stuff, it's a little different. They have a lot of those exact same things on some of their devices, but what we're going to talk about tonight is the new CDJ firmware update. It's for the CDJ 3000, and I'm going to share some of, if I have those still up here, hold on. I have Rekordbox's plans because we're going to talk about that. Yeah, we'll do that here. Give me a second here. And there we go. Okay. So one of the things you have to know about is that you have to have a plan through Rekordbox, and it shows the different chord, create, professional, and then some of the frees. And they say some of the things that can be used, like number of connections that you can have to it. Am I in the way there? No, I'm good. You can have music management through that, and that also can be done through your phone. Recording, all these different things you can look at down here from the free on up to the professional. Supported devices, and here as you go down towards the bottom, you start seeing a little bit of different of what it is. Edit track modes and different things like that for these devices. And one of the things that it has is that the core plan, do I have the prices? There they are. And the core plan is one of the first ones you need, if I'm correct, to do this thing with the new 3000s, which is $10 a month. You have the creative plan is $15 a month. Professional plan is $29 a month. You also have to pay for Dropbox. So Dropbox is $10 a month for 2 terabytes. $16.58, which I think is a crazy number. $16.58 for 3 terabytes, or $12.50 a month for 5 terabytes split over 3 accounts. So that's 5 terabytes split 3 ways. It's not you have 5 terabytes and 3 people can access those 5 terabytes. It's 5 terabytes split over 3 things. Now, what is kind of unique about the way they do this is that these CDJs do not have Wi-Fi. What they have is an Ethernet port in the back, and they are used, multiple Ethernet ports, let's just say that, and what they're used for is to connect them together. So if you have two CDJ 3000s together, and then you have them connected via an Ether port to each other, you put a thumb drive in one, and the other one can play music off of that. Okay? That's what that was for. But the ports, because there's multiple, you can then, on top of having these connected, put an internet connection to it, and then that will give you access. If you have the sign-up services through Rekordbox and all that, you can access all your music that's on the cloud from that. What they do to help lock that down so other people can't just jump on your thing and do that is that you have a thumb drive that then becomes your key. So instead of coming up and putting your thumb drive in and only playing music off the thumb drive, that thumb drive now has two functions. One, music that's on there, and two, to unlock your online cloud account to be able to play from it. And from what I understand how the software works through Pioneer's Rekordbox and all that stuff, I have been told that it is extremely efficient. So it's not lagging, it's not slow, it's not anything. And the people who told me that they're not like a Pioneer person going, hey man, you got to believe me. It's someone else is like, wow, they did this right. There's no lag, there's no nothing. So those are the options right now. With the online playing, and like I said, you kind of have to keep in mind that there are, two different things that roll with that. It is the cloud service and the streaming service. Like I said, with me and virtual, I have three. I go back here, and we're going to do zoomed in. And let me throw that there. So if I go all the way up here to my online music, I'm a subscriber to the iDJ pool because if I do... I always type Drake because it's really quick. You get DJ versions. So I like this, so if I need to grab something, I'm going to have an explicit single, clean single. I have Deezer because Deezer's going to give me all the album edits. And you're going to have all of that right there. These are from Deezer, so all of these are playable. And then you're also going to go down to my G drive, which would be, I have a shortcut to it right here. So this is all my music that's on the cloud. It's searching through. Oh, it's still going through right there. You can see it's going through all them. It's reading it because I have it to recurse every time. So give it a second. Uno momente, señores and señoritas, por favor. All right, so now if I type Drake in, it's going to show me all the Drake songs I have in my collection. And yes, there's a buttload of Drake songs. And then this here goes to other folders within the hard drive, in that online drive. So I have two streaming services, iDJ Pool and Deezer, and one cloud service within the stuff that I use. So that's kind of the main thing between these. And like I said, I kind of wanted to give you guys an update because I know a lot of people don't like using these. But as we go into the future, we're going to see... a lot more of this. Newmark just put out that standalone. They have not talked about any kind of streaming ability with it yet. I don't know if it does or it doesn't. I would not be surprised if we don't see a company put out a box like FaZe put out a box that you just pop in the drive and then that box becomes your connection to the internet somehow and you carry your streaming. So in the future, we're going to see cats going out and DJing and not taking anything but a couple thumb drives. It all kind of depends on what you do. Like I said, it is going to take time as this grows. It's not something that's going to happen today, but you kind of have to look at the future and go, just like I always talk about every time when I talk about these things, is that I remember when people said no one will ever use a CD to DJ from, and then everybody used CDs to DJ from. And then someone was like, why in the world would I use a laptop? I don't want to be caught dead with a laptop. And then everybody uses a laptop. And then they go, well, a controller, no way, you got to use records, DVS, it's the only real thing. And then now everybody uses controllers. So as you go into the future and this stuff becomes, the technology becomes better, you're going to see more people using it. I use it as a backup. So that's mine. When I'm out, I'm never without the ability to grab a song that I don't already have. Now, every week, I still go online, grab all the songs that I grab. They go into my collection no matter what. Every week, I hunt. But those three give me a chance to grab stuff that I don't carry with me, and I don't want to carry a buttload of people. I know friends that walk around with like 12 terabytes of music when they DJ, and I think that's idiotic. If you're my friend and you do that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you an idiot, but it's just with today's technology, you don't have to. You can simplify your life so much with this stuff. And having those as a backup, and I'm telling you, it's worth every penny I pay to have those accessible. And I know a lot of you talk about, well, I don't live in an area where I get connection, or the place I'm at is a Wi-Fi. That's a whole different story, because that's an infrastructure that's going to be built further and further. Because if you're old like me, you remember a time before there were cell phones, or there was only certain places you could get cell phone reception. That's all changed. And so is this going to be changing in the future like this. You're going to see a lot more public Wi-Fis and different things like that. For me, my two go-tos are all very simple when it comes to Wi-Fi. I am an Xfinity subscriber for my house, and that gets me access to Xfinity's public Wi-Fi, which is almost every single place. Like, there's hardly a place I DJ around the city and outside the city that I can't tie in directly into Xfinity's Wi-Fi. And if I don't have that, I have, a hotspot with the phone. So I have that, and I tie into that when I don't need to. Nights I just come in, and when you're streaming something, it doesn't use that much data. So you can just leave it on all night, stream and run all you want, and it's hardly anything. So those are my go-tos as emergencies. I'm never left without that ability, and that's the kind of the purpose of all this stuff, that as you start to embrace it little by little, you're going to see that, $10 extra a month is worth paying for one of those. You're like, oh my gosh, I had that one song at that one wedding that they asked for, and I was able to get it instantly, because I don't leave the program to grab songs. I drag and drop, and they load, and I play instantly. But as these things go and develop, it's going to get better. That's kind of where we're at with this. I'd like to take some questions from the chat there. If you have any questions about any of this, anything that has to do with virtual, we have virtual up. I can talk about the other stuff, answer the ability on the other stuff to the best of my ability. I also have the decks open tonight, so if you have any questions like that, we can. Let me see here. Someone here says, wedding DJs have to, especially if you don't have any Wi-Fi or even create a hotspot with your phone. Again, it all depends on where you're at and what you're doing. I always tell people when they say, well, I live out in the middle of nowhere, well, you have to keep in mind that you may not be the majority of people, because technically in America, 80% of all Americans live east of the Mississippi. I'm sorry, they live in the eastern and central time zones. So 80% of all Americans live in those two time zones. So that covers a lot of people. And 50% of all Americans, not just the 80, but all, live within a 1-hour radius of a major American city. So that means the infrastructure for those people is pretty abundant and strong. So for most of those people, they can hotspot off a phone most of the time. So you are going to have people that aren't. You are the exception. You're not the rule. You're the exception. So keep that out. Years ago, everybody had trouble. But like I said, I DJ'd up in the middle of nowhere this past summer for an outdoor party. And I mean, it was like nowhere. And I was able to get a little bit of signal on my phone and hotspot it, and was able to grab stuff for that party from there. And I'm telling you, I was out in the middle of nowhere, and these things can happen. So if you guys have any questions about this, want to talk about it, your ideas, your thoughts, share them in the chat. Like I said, I'm watching tonight on 11 different places, both YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. I know I don't do this show every single week. I don't feel I have a lot to offer, because I've done so many shows where I feel I just repeat myself. And I'm thinking that anybody's watching me is getting bored hearing me repeat myself. So that's why I don't do a lot of those. But this one came up this week with some discussion. And I kind of wanted to bring it out to you guys a little bit and talk about the streaming thing. Because like I said, it's something I use often. And when Google Drive changed that over to that G Drive, where they're able to, it becomes a letter on your computer, I realized, holy crap, I can access so much of my stuff there. Like, I could leave all my karaoke online or something like that. Something that I don't want to carry with me. GK says that's why the Beatport offline locker is amazing. Having the stuff offline is great. Like I said, because of using iDJ Pool and Virtual DJ lets you do unlimited offline. It's great to grab stuff, throw it, and say, right click, cache this for later, and it's held there for a month. And basically, all you have to do is have that computer log online at least once a month to prove that you still have that subscription, and you can play it offline all the time. John says, for weddings and high-end gigs, it would be needed to be absolutely flawless before we could trust it, or else be a big refund. Again, you're not playing all your music off of it, John. You're playing a song, and I want to show you something here. We'll share this. All right, so I'm going to grab this song from, we're going to go up here, and we're going to grab from here. We're going to go back and grab another one of those Drakes. And I'm going to drag a song from Drake up there. All right, so let's say I just did this search, and I found all these, and I go, boop, and I load that, and right now, I can kill the hotspot, kill my Wi-Fi, kill everything, and that song will play all the way through uninterrupted. So it's not about being perfect. It's about being there. So if you can, like I said, that place I did out in the middle of nowhere, I did not have a good phone signal, but I was still able to do it, and it loaded at about half that speed, at least, or slower. But I was able to get those. It's not your whole library. Don't think of it as your whole library. So I'm going to get to one of those comments here in a second. I just read. It's those once-off grab songs. And like for me, I'm able to do that everywhere. And that's what I'm talking about. Those people have access to it. You can grab it absolutely everywhere. Let me look up here some more questions. How do you feel about media servers, and doing remote desktop into? You had asked me about that before. To me, you're having a remote desktop into something. You're not a DJ. You're a playlist. So I mean, I don't even know why you would have that. Because if someone's paying you for that, they need to be doing that. If someone's paying for you to do that, call me, give me their information, and I'll go and save them money by teaching them how to do it themselves. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. Sean says, so do you know what these streaming services are? They're paying DJs to do remixes and covers of licensed part of it. No idea. Nor, as I've said this before, and I go through this with people all the time, people like only want to touch legal music. And honestly, if I had to play only legal music, I would quit DJing, because none of the places I DJ want to hear album cuts. So everything I play has to be some sort of edited version, or these places don't even want to hire me. So it's not, for me, it's not about getting legal music. It's about getting the stuff I want. So if a legal place could get me what I want for a higher price, I would pay the higher price. But I just can't get it. So I'm not even going to worry about legal stuff right now. Middle of nowhere, thanks for visiting Greene County. Hey, I grew up like almost in Greene County. So I don't even want to hear that. For those of you who know Western Pennsylvania, Greene County is like way south of the city. Way south of the city. And I grew up almost in Greene County on a 200-acre farm down there. And I've been back, and I can get cell service down there. And I would be able to get my Wi-Fi through my phone on my cell service. So don't give me that, all right? Definitely do a show on how to back up your music. Drag and drop. That's the best thing I could tell you. I don't do much different than that. Because of now how G Drive works, I now on my DJ computer have it connected to my Google Drive. So anytime I change anything in there, delete songs, add songs, history playlist, anything like that, it automatically updates all of that to the cloud in Google in real time. And then from there, my other computers, my phone just kicked on when I said the G word. My other computers will then now download that stuff to this. So that's the only one I ever need to do anything with, and the rest of them will reverse them into the other stuff. That's all I do. And I have a thumb drive that I carry in my wallet with all my music too, and that's the only one that I update, and I update it through Virtual for their way of doing the thumb drive. So when I walk up to a Denon equipment, or if I walk up to a Pioneer equipment with that thumb drive, its music has all my cue points and everything with it. And that's why I do it through there. And that's the only one that kind of gets done that way. So somebody said, I think you need to do another crate digging show. Again, to the other person who talked about legal music, that's why I don't do more shows like that, because I always get complaints. And I don't, again, the person who said that, I thank you for your comment. Pardon me. I'm not trying to demean your wanting to be legal. I'm just saying it doesn't work for me. And when I do these shows to say where I get the music from, I get people complaining, well, that's not a legal service. I understood that before I ever signed up for it and gave them my money. I know that, and I'm okay with that. So I might do another show of those about crate digging and where I get, because I do a lot of digging. One of the things that I'm known for is if I go visit a DJ friend, I will hear a song they're playing. I'm like, hey, I like that. And I'll reach over their shoulder with my phone and snap a shot of their screen with that and then go hunt for it. And I have a couple friends that will be like, just tell me which ones you want and I'll send them to you. I'm like, no, I find them, and I always find them. So you got to dig through all of these. I pay for quite a few different ones, and I'm able to find everything I want. One of them is, I consider it a very illegal service, but I can dig there and get whatever I want. I never have problems with anything, and that's why I do these, because it's my job and I have to have these. My friend and I were talking the other day about a song that the college bars were asking for. And I'm like, yeah, I've had that since summer. He's like, where do you get it? I can't find it. And I said, honestly, if I remember right, I got it off YouTube, because that was literally the only place I could get that song. So sometimes you have to do that. You have to get the songs because they want to hear the songs. And if that is your only choice, I'm going to go to that and get that. I'm not ashamed to say that. If I can get it somewhere else, I'm going to do it. But if I can't, I'm going to get it, because the song's more important than like the quality of the song or where I get the song. Having the song is the most important thing. Someone said here, bar gigs, I'd be great to grab one off on the fly. That's what I use them for. Just that one person comes up and says, hey, do you have this? In your mind, you go, I know that will work. And you go look and you go, pardon me. I'm like, I don't have that song. What do I do? And then you go, I can just go online and grab it. And I go online and grab it, and people like it. And that's it. It's that little win. They don't even know what you're doing. I don't tell people I have that ability, but it's there. There was a night I was DJing at a college bar, and that college gets a lot of international students. And it was kind of snowy out, so we didn't have a lot of people. I'm going to take a drink here. Hold on. I also didn't realize I had that open there. Sorry, I thought you were still staring at that. But I did think at a college bar, and there were people both of Indian background and Latin background. And the one crowd would come up and ask for some Latin songs, and I'd play Latin songs. And then the other crowd would come up for some Indian songs, and I'd play the Indian songs. And all of these I'm grabbing offline, and then I'd go and look a chart up for top whatever songs in this, and I'm playing them, and they're like, how do you do this? This is so amazing. You have everything we want. And at the end of the night, the manager goes, that was amazing. How did you do that? And I did that because I had the ability to grab stuff online. I played specific off-genre music for the crowd that was there. Not only made them happy, but made the manager happy. And that's what it's about. That's what this is all about. It's just working that angle any way you can. Going down the line here. So good for fill in and grab those obscure songs you'll never use again. Not always, because there's a lot of times, like I said, especially that I DJ for college crowds, they'll come up and show me something on a phone, and I usually wait until someone else asks it for a second time, and then I go, okay, a bunch of people want to hear this, so I'll go and grab it, and then I can look on, as you see on here, any song that's from online gets that green dot. So if I go back and look at my history, no, that's on Listen Advice, History. Let me see. That was probably from tonight. I'm just trying to grab some stuff. Trying to find that green dot on some of these. There we go. There's a green dot. Okay, so somebody wanted to hear this song. It was the dumbest song in the world. I remember this now. But I can go back and look at what I played that night, and I'm able to go, I want to download that song. So now I have a record of that song, and if I feel, yeah, I want to play that again, I can go find that song. And that gives me a way of both tracking stuff that I played and a way to go get the stuff that I wanted to hear. Moving on down the list here. Also, keep in mind, you said about obscure songs you'll never play again. Well, at least you're not going to have it on your hard drive. You play it and it's gone. It's never going to take up space. So that's the advantage of that. And I have a lot of songs that I don't have to worry about, oh, I don't want the song, I'm going to delete it. I don't never have to worry about deleting it. I just played it through there and I'm done with that song. Me here said, and with iDJ Pool, you can do the prep ahead of time and use the offline cache so that you don't have to worry about Wi-Fi. Yes, and I do have a lot of that kind of stuff that I do. Jazzy says I use a couple of times. I use a couple of times different gigs, but I can't use it too much because most time it freezes and the song doesn't come up in time. That would be a connection problem or a computer problem, because I showed you how fast they load on mine. And when I'm out, because right now this computer is running the broadcast stuff. I have the decks hooked up to it. It's running OBS. And I'm looking at the chat and all this stuff, so it's slower. So when I'm on my computer out DJing, it's faster than what I just showed you. So everything on a hard drive is opposite. Trying to stream it just freezes. That is something to do with the connection on yours or something like that, because I've been using the streaming services for 3 or 4 years minimum, and I'm able to do that. It works. I grab random songs up ours every once in a while. Correct. CFX Corp's laughing at me. I just want to say something. If you're from Greene County, and I'm going to tell you where I grew up, you're going to go, holy crap, your country. Amity. That's where I grew up. Amity. So just keep that in mind. You must have Verizon cell service. I do not. I have AT&T. And AT&T offers me stuff beyond even Verizon. So I'm like got a connection anywhere I want, anytime. It's freaking awesome. It would be great if you have a live seminar showing exactly how you do things. That is a good thing. I'm going to take note of that, MXP 2000, because there's a lot that I know I do different than other people, and it's not going to fit everybody. Like the streaming thing is not going to fit everybody, but I know that if everybody looked at it in a little bit more detail, you could see how that would be easy to use for those one-offs, and how if you use that one-off one time, you'd be like, dude, that was worth it. That was worth it. Like, I always tell this is a hilarious joke to me. You know, the other one about the ethnic songs, it was a little different. But I don't carry a lot of stuff. And I don't carry a lot of, like, bar music, okay? And somebody asked for Nickelback. And my first thought was, I ain't got no Nickelback. I've never played Nickelback. For no reason have I ever owned a Nickelback song. But I looked at this crowd, I said, they're going to love it. Went right online, grabbed the Nickelback, played it, the whole bar sang along at the top of their voice. Like, it's worth every penny. Worth every penny to have that. So those little things like that, to me, I'm able to pull little tricks out of my hat like that. And again, make managers happy who are the ones that are hiring me. So I will think about doing a live seminar on something like that. I would like to do some of these, but to be honest with you, I would have to charge more because I'm looking at my DJ classes, and I know some of you have asked me recently about doing DJ classes, and I've kind of held off because I feel I feel my time for this is worth more. So I want to raise my prices on them, but also no one would really pay for that. I don't think the price that I feel it's worth. So if I could somehow do a seminar where I could get enough people and give them the opportunity in that seminar to be able to ask questions and let it be a two-way thing, and where I would make enough money to make me happy for my time, I would absolutely do that. And I could even, John is trying to talk about doing some online education stuff, and maybe we can do a once a month where it's a pay in only, where you pay a couple bucks. And if think about it, if 10 people pay $10 each, that's $100. That's a lot to me, and that's a small class. So think about stuff like that. If you're interested, contact John, send him an email, send him a message on Facebook. And this could be something that we do over winter where you guys kind of have your downtime, and I could set up some seminars on specific things like this. And other people, not just me. You could get Brian or Jay or one of those guys to do that, and where it helps them directly because they're the one putting the time. I put a lot of time this afternoon into researching all these and their prices and stuff because I kind of wanted to be able to give you guys some sort of number. So I may do that. Thank you so much, MXP 2000, for that. That's a good idea. Thank you. Here we go. Looking down here. And besides this, only good for if you don't have a song and someone's asking for a request. Or if you want to play a different version, because there's nights that I went in there because of the let me go back to here, and we're going to go back to online, an iDJ poll. I'm going to share over here. I want to go to left screen. There we go. So it's both of us. So if I look in my DJ music here, and I want to look for, let me think of something. I'm going to look up and see if they have any Madonna. Okay, so let's say I have Madonna in here, okay? And I want because of the crowd I'm at, I don't want to play the whole song. So I'm like, do I have a quick edit of Madonna? I have no quick edits. Do I have a short edit? I have no short edits. So I can go up now to IDJ Pool, and we'll see if they have it. They may not. Go in here, do some Madonna searching. All right, so do we have any quick? Madonna quick. So there's a quick one. Let's see if there's a short. There's a short, Like a Prayer short edit. And opposite, I have a lot of short versions, and if I go, I want the whole version, and I didn't have the whole version because I have these edited versions, I can go in then, or something with an intro. I think this might be a good one to look at. Christmas songs. So I can have, it's Taylor Swift's. I don't want Taylor Swift's White Christmas. I don't want that. I'm trying to find one that has an intro. That's a single, so we're going to see stuff that's not single. I'm looking for something there that has like extended. Yeah, those are all singles, single. If I wanted some, oh, here's an extended. Well, that's Major Lazer, so that's not even a good one. So we'll just type in here. Oops. Did I spell that right? Nope. Oh, can't spell tonight. But that's the whole purpose. Is it's not just about those one things. You can grab a lot of different things. It just doesn't leave you limited to that. And that's why, again, why I grab that, because it's more than just that. You have to think way beyond the one song. You have to think about any scenario why you might want a different version. And you're able to grab it no matter where you're at. Moving on down here. GK says, as a wedding DJ, trust me, as a bar DJ, as a club DJ, I get asked for stuff that, like, yeah, I'm with you on that 100%. I always tell people, to me, it's like a restaurant. If you go to an Italian restaurant, you're not going to go and ask for Chinese food. So why in the world would you go to a club that's playing hip-hop and ask for rock? That's just idiotic. Go to the place that has what you want. They're around. Just don't think that the DJ's a jukebox. So that's just my opinion. Moving on down. I must admit I have used Apple to record songs I could not find to purchase. Yeah, sometimes. We are family. Okay. I'm reading down, for those of you wondering why I'm just staring here, I'm reading down all the chats from the different things and kind of answering some questions if I can. Tell them DJs need to take requests because it's their party, not our party. This is the very reason that I'm always tipped. Give or take. I tell people that for the bar and club scene, you are not DJing for the people. You are absolutely not DJing for the people. You are DJing to make the bar owner or the manager happy. And many times, the two of those do not match at all. There's a place recently that is a big, it's like the major club in Pittsburgh, was having problems where before they were playing about 80% hip hop, and that's all that people want to hear. And they were having some problems, so the management said, I only want 50% hip hop, the rest of it make it pop, happy, Taylor Swift, Bruno Mars, anything that's, not hip hop. And it completely changed everything because people don't want to hear all that. They want to hear the 60 BPM to 80 BPM hip hop. So it's not always, people all night be asking for those songs. And as a DJ, we can't play that. We know we can't play that much of it. Play a couple songs, get out and play some other stuff. Play a couple songs, get out and play some other stuff. That's the best we can do. So it kind of goes either direction there. The track isn't loading fast enough. Virtual DJ, try turning off the math. Yes, that's another thing. That there are so many settings in Virtual DJ. Let me zoom in because the zoom in looks better there. And we can go into options, and I think it's in here. Engine math. It also depends on how you're doing the processing of the songs. Hardware, software, CPU, GPU, disabled, automatic, to seeing whatever it does. Those are things that can speed up. But there are so many if you've never looked at Virtual DJ, these are all the possible settings that you have in Virtual DJ. For simple things like that, for making something stand out, disappear, change times, anything like that, all of these are settings that can be done to update, change, and things. And like he said, that math thing was a very good suggestion. Also, things like frames per second. If your computer, like mine, I usually run 60 frames per second on everything on my screen and the video that I'm doing out. But if you have trouble sometimes, you can turn it down to 30 frames a second for each, and it takes a lot less power off your computer. So it's odd how things work like that. But yeah, great. GK, thank you for that. That was freaking awesome. Mike says Comcast is the best. I like them. Usually have 2 brides a year. You just send me YouTube links. Absolutely. You just got to figure. I know Dan, the other guy here on Disc Jockey News, we do the Monday night chat, talks all the time about he'll have a song that a bride will request, and he will look everywhere for a legal version, like everywhere. He'll tell anybody, do you have this? Where did you get it? Where can I get it? I don't care if I have to sign up for something. And he ends up having to get it from YouTube because it's literally nowhere else. The bride wants this song sung by this person, and that person has never put that song anywhere but on a video of them singing it on YouTube. So sometimes you have to. You absolutely have to sometimes. How do you get songs from Virtual DJ 8? How to get songs from Virtual DJ 8? Milk 35. Expand upon that question a little bit. Let me understand that. I'm going to take another drink. Someone say Megaseg. I normally don't drink this stuff here, but I didn't grab my water when I come downstairs, and this was already here from earlier. So if you have any other questions, throw them in. We still got a couple more minutes. I definitely want to try to get to Milk 35's question. I'm definitely going to be doing another Virtual DJ one later this month. Like I said, if you're interested in any of these things, the classes, the seminars, talk to John. We can set this up through there. And like I said, if we get enough people that can sign up and be able to sit on some sort of Zoom thing where you guys can ask questions directly to me or other people, like whoever ends up doing the seminar, that might be something you might put $5 in to sit through. It could be Howie doing DMX. And Howie, if you don't want to do that, please forgive me for throwing you under the bus like that. But there could be a lot of things like that. But to make it worth our time, I know what I get paid to DJ an hour. And I think anything else I do, especially if I'm helping you become a better DJ, it's worth something to me. And that's why I said I look at my classes and go, I'm going to need to raise my prices because it's just not. That's why I kind of stopped, because I just didn't feel it was worth the amount of time I have to do with setup and prep. And a lot of times I'm explaining stuff to other people who do not use the same stuff I do. So I kind of have to explain to them using this, like this, and try to do it that way. Jazz and Animal says, I have a question. In your opinion, do you think this new generation 21 to 34 is more into hip-hop or is it still rock? Here's my answer to you. Hip-hop has been the number one choice of music above rock since, let me see if I can find it here. This was in 2018 that this happened. Hip-hop beats rock to become America's favorite music genre. In 2018, I knew that hip-hop becomes more of it. So more people want hip-hop now than rock, and that happened in 2018. I believe, especially with what we do as DJs, we're doing with people dancing, rock almost is null and void. Like I literally have places I walk into that will say, and not just clubs and bars, like I do like the ski resorts and different things like that, they will tell me flat out, no rock, no country, hip hop and pop. That's all we want. No rock, no country. So like I said, a lot of places I DJ at, it's about dancing, it's about that crowd. So hip hop has been there. Like I said, the places I DJ, the bars, especially the 21 to 34 year olds, I could play the whole night between 65 BPM and 80 BPM, and everybody would be happy. The only people would complain probably staff or management or somebody. But like I said, there's a couple places I do where I have to spend the whole night there. I can't, like Bruno Mars is too fast. 100 BPM is too fast. You can't go there. So, but other places I can go all the way up into dance music and do fast stuff too. So you kind of have to be flexible. But definitely my answer to that crowd, hip-hop's been number one for so long. Like I said, I don't play, unless it's a bar where people are sitting around, I don't even bother with rock. If you have a place, no, that's what I'm saying, Jazz. That I don't know a place that I could go and play rock. There's no place that wants it. So I really don't even know where I would play that. Like I said, unless it was a bar, and my definition of bar is a bar that's only a bar. It's not a bar with a dance floor, a bar with lights. It's not a restaurant that moves chairs and tables out of the way and people dance. A bar is about drinking, that you walk in there and the real estate inside is dedicated to drinking. That's a bar, and that's a whole different thing. You are, at those kind of points, you are a human jukebox, and you absolutely play rock. You absolutely play country. You absolutely play oldies. Absolutely. But the places I'm at, it can be a bar during the day and they move all the tables. Like there's one I used to do, it was a Mexican restaurant. And plain old ordinary restaurant, but the kitchen closed at 11 p.m. The bar upstairs and downstairs stayed open until 2. We would start DJing then. They drop the lights. They have lights set up in there that they turn on, clear some chairs out, and we're playing club stuff for the rest of the night there. So you have to look at the place where you're at. So if you're at a place that's like that, like I said, you're a human jukebox. You get to know the people more. You're going to get on a one-name basis with these people, and they want to hear rock, play rock. If they want to hear country, play country. You're about that place. And I'm guessing that if a manager hires you to DJ at a place like that, he knows that you're going to see that crowd and go, they want some rock, they want some country. But like I said, all the places I DJ at, I get told not to play hip-hop by management who's tired of problems, and they go, we can't have this, change it up. So it's the weirdest thing. But yeah, I don't ever deal with that ever. So it's like I said, it's about where you're at. Some rock is like country. The weird thing is that you all know I hate country, but some of the country they're coming out with now almost isn't country. It's like pop with a little twang, and it's kind of interesting the way it's going. Like Fancy Like. That's almost not a country song. At least the version I play isn't. So I find it kind of amazing how it's all kind of getting melded together. If you want to blow your brain up, if you're into country music and you want to blow your brain up, go onto YouTube and type in, instead of hip-hop, type in hick, like country hick hop, and there's a whole genre of music that is hip-hop, is full-out country hip-hop. And that's something that I think is going to come mainstream hard and fast. I really believe that it's going to come hard and fast because it's hip-hop with country themes, country twangs, country notes, country instruments, all that kind of stuff. And I think that is going to come forward. Think about, like I said, Fancy Like. That's coming that direction. So, yeah, some country is like hip-hop. Yeah, like I was saying. So I think that we're really going to start blurring the lines in the future. We can't think so much genre. We kind of have to think this crowd needs a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and we're going to find how to put it all together. And that makes a good DJ, in my opinion. So, if there's no other questions, we're almost to the top of the hour. I want to thank everybody for hour. I said hour, like I'm in the country. I said hour. Even though I did grow up on a 200-acre cattle farm. We were into rock back then. It was all classic rock. It was, Bad Company and George Thorogood and all kinds of stuff from back. That's what we grew up listening to. But I listened to all the hip hop. I listened to all the Nucleus and different things like that. I was into Curtis Blow. I was into all that kind of stuff growing up too. So I got it all. I guess I was kind of into all of it. The disco era, I love that kind of stuff. I love the 80s stuff, the Michael Jacksons. I love the whole MTV Raps era. Kind of moved through all that. But yeah. Hip hop, I'm telling you, as much as I hate country, I'm surprised that I'm not already playing hip hop. I think it's going to be that popular. I really do believe it will. Country folks might fight against it. You're right, Robin. Absolutely. But like I said, with what's his name, with Old Town Road and the other Blanco Brown did the Get Up. Both of those, I said, here's the hip hop going to begin. I swore that it was going to break out like that, but it didn't yet. So there you go. May I ask a question? Which of your video about virtual DJ allows you to have access to your playlists? You're talking about my I'm going to have to, we're almost out of time, so I'm probably going to have to answer that next time. If you're, hit me up with a direct message on that, and I'll get back to that, because I'm not sure. Like I said, we're out of time, and I want to answer that So I'm not sure if you're asking about my online playlist within Virtual, because if you go to Virtual DJ's website and look up Cloud Lists, I have a Cloud List on there that I change every single week that is the Billboard's Hot 100, the top 40 of Billboard's Hot 100. And you can put that in your Cloud List, so each week you can update that and see what, like I said, I've put them in there, 1 to 40, everything in there. So check that out. Yeah, Florida Georgia Line and Nelly, play both of those when I'm out because it's that kind of blend thing. I have another one with Nelly and Sweet Home Alabama. Somebody did a mashup of those. That's that blend thing. Depending upon the crowd, I can get both crowds with that. So you just have to be creative. But like I said, I'm calling it here. I'm not going to be surprised if Hick Hop becomes super popular and we're all playing it. So wedding people, be prepared. So with that said, we're at the top of the hour. Thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, CFX knew Joyce. Yes, I used to be a Joyce Ellis dancer and a Joyce Ellis teacher. I've recently put some videos up of me when I danced for her back in the early 90s and the TV commercials we did. When my book comes out, I'm going to end up doing a website about the creative stuff I've done in the past. So on that one, I'm going to be able to share a lot of the stuff I did, the dance routines, the companies, the commercials. When I used to be a vocal performer, all the drawing and artwork and sculptures and stuff I did. I'm going to set that when this book comes out, it's going to be part of a celebration of all the artwork stuff that I've done my entire life. And I'll be having some Joyce Ellis stuff there. But yes, Joyce was incredible influence in my life, who not just my life, but thousands of people's lives. So I was blessed to get to spend time with her. So leave that on a positive note. If you have a person in your life that's like that, that has impacted you positively, take some time today and send them a quick message and thank them. They'll appreciate it. They're human too, so they might be having a bad day, and you going, yeah, remember 20 years ago when you said this? It meant so much to me. Thank you so much. Take some time and do that with somebody today. And with that said, thank you again for tuning in. Look for later this month the Virtual DJ show and other stuff. That's about it. So until next time. Oh, John wanted me to say something about some sort of speaker shootout. If you want to know about this thing going on, I don't know what it is. Talk to John Colley, and he'll be able to get you the information and all that stuff. I don't know what it is. I didn't get time to look at it. I apologize, John, but check it out. So until next time, take care of yourselves. God bless everybody.